welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have three individuals that, if we were in the studio on the comfy couch, we would have been laughing all the way from the green room into the studio. They are that much fun. I'm talking about three individuals who are here to talk about the Asia Pacific Cultural Center presents the New Year celebration featuring the beautiful Marshall Islands. So please join me in welcoming Fa'alua Pritchard, also known as Auntie Lua. She is the executive director of the Asia Pacific Cultural Center. Lua, I love you to the moon and back. How are you?
Very good, thank you. And I am so happy to see you today. And sorry I can't hug you and kiss you.
I know. Well, you know what? We have lots of hugs and kisses stored up for when we can do it in person.
Absolutely.
You brought with you another woman I love so much, Dr. Belinda Louie. You are the event chair of the Asia Pacific Cultural Center's New Year celebration. Welcome back, Dr. Louie.
Thank you. I love to be on your show. Love to see you.
I love having you on, and you've given us permission to call you Belinda.
Yes.
So we will call you Belinda from this point on. And this wonderful, talented, handsome man below, David Antok, you are the program director of the Luta Kopan Alili Center. Welcome, my dear, and boy, do you have a great background.
Yahweh and greetings, Amanda, Auntie Lua, Belinda. I'm so happy to be with you today. And yes, behind me obviously is our wonderful logo designed by our program manager and director here today for the exciting event that we're hosting next week. And yes, Yahweh from the Marshall Islands.
So I have to say, David, you get the award today for the most nimble and the most ability to pivot, because our viewers can't tell, but you're in your car, you pulled over to do this show, and you are just amazing. So we're going to get you in just a second. So sit tight in that car and keep the heat on because it's kind of chilly today outside. Lua, I want to find out first off, how are you and how is the staff at APCC doing during this pandemic?
We're doing very well, Amanda. We've been working very hard in addressing the needs of our people, Asian Pacific Islander community people during the pandemic, passing them and delivering them masks and food and making sure they get tested for the COVID, and also, you know, gift cards and all those sorts of great things to make sure that they are okay during the pandemic. And now we're helping the health department about the vaccine.
Yes. And you know, when you say we, I would be remiss. I don't want people to think that we is 500 people that you employ. We probably could fit around my kitchen table. You are few, but you are mighty. And that's what I know to be true about the one of the millions of great things about APCC. David, each year around this time, APCC introduces us to one of the many countries your organization represents. So we see the words Marshall Islands behind you. Who is this year's host?
Well, it is exciting because the Marshall Islands is this year's host. And we're thrilled to share our beautiful and resilient culture with the rest of our Asia Pacific Island cultures.
David, give us an idea for people who don't know where the islands are located.
Absolutely. The Marshall Islands are located just southwest of Hawaii in the North Pacific. And there are 29 low coral atolls with 5 small islands and just beautiful low coral atolls with lots of palm trees and coconut trees, such like what you see in Auntie Lua's background there.
You know, if I could step into Auntie Lua's background and actually feel that water on my feet, you don't know how fast I would jump out of this frame. So if that's not enough for us to, I guess, focus in on one of the special things about the Marshall Islands, David, what's special about the people of the Marshall Islands? Because that's what we are really celebrating.
Indeed, indeed. And thank you for that question. And thinking about the people of the Marshall Islands, I think about this selected photo that was wonderfully picked, rightfully for this event. And let me just move this way a little bit. Maybe you can see. You see this beautiful necklace here that's handcrafted, made by only selected few of the ladies in the Marshall Islands can make this. These are shells that are going, that they go out and picked from the ocean, during low tides only, and certain seasons and only certain islands in the Marshall Islands you'll see these type of beautiful shells around the necklace here, and it's taken a lot of time, a long time to woven it together. It takes the whole village actually to collect and materialize this just one symbolic necklace, and this symbolic necklace is only worn by the princes or the prince and queens and kings of the islands. And this here is a photo of one of our princesses of the Marshall Islands. That's shown in the background on the flyers here. So that's just a bit of the people of the Marshall Islands. We are kind people, happy, love to share, and have obviously faced so many different adversaries and continue to stick together because that's what Pacific Islanders do.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. I mean, thank you for explaining that necklace because when you did move, I was all over that necklace going, what is that? It is powerful and it speaks volumes. David, about how many people of this country, in terms of the Marshall Islands, reside in Washington State? And about which locations are they mostly concentrated on?
Yeah, right now in the state of Washington, I mean, we call the state of Washington our home away from home. We have been received very well by the host state, namely all of our communities of color, and the people here have been very kind to welcome us. And so we are one of the fastest growing Pacific Islander community in the state of Washington. And to think about kind of where we come from, Marshall Islands, and then select Washington State because of the environment close to the ocean. And we're learning how to ski in the mountains, so watch out. But we are growing, as I said, and we have about roughly close to 15,000, if that, throughout the state of Washington. And we're mostly located in King County, South King County, all the way down to Pierce County, and then east of the mountains out in the Tri-Cities and Spokane County.
And David, I bet everybody knows you and loves you because I'm sitting here with pandemic sorrow that I don't have you on the couch in the studio so I can actually feel your energy because the way that you just described this was amazing. Who wouldn't want to be a part of you? I mean, come on. So, Linda, how different is this year's celebration since you're not at the Dome for the event? And I have to tell people, if you've never been to this event covers food, music, history, pageantry, a resource fair. There is not any event that I can think of in Tacoma that is so encompassing and well organized as this event is every year, and it sells out every year. So with that being said, Belinda, what do we have for this year?
I think is just like who we are. Instead of looking at what we do not have, we look at the vast opportunities that are opening up to us. The world is our stage. Miss Lewis celebrates about that. The world is a stage. And then now, people all over the world, especially the kind folks in Marshall Islands, they can really watch our program online. And then we have some programs like cooking. We cannot cook on stage at Tacoma. No, but this time, in different communities, we have cooking demonstrations as part of our program. And the music is so close to you, and the dancers are right in front of you, and you can watch us again and again. It's just delightful.
In addition to delightful, resilient. That is I think that probably is in your mission and vision statement someplace.
And instead of one day, Amanda, it's a full week. We're doing it from Monday to Saturday. Saturday being the real date that we normally do it. So that's when Marshall Islands do their full show.
So,
Yeah.
what else can we expect for that week?
So we are doing, for example, all of our different speakers. We have dignitary speakers all week, every single day. There are a specific VIP speakers and then specific nations. So for example, like Monday, we're highlighting Guam, Korea, and Vietnam. And then Tuesday, we're highlighting Hawaii, Taiwan, and Japan. And then Wednesday is the Philippines, Thailand, Okinawa, and Tonga. And Thursday is India, China, and Cambodia. And then Friday is Laos, New Zealand, Samoa, and Indonesia. But the whole Saturday is all Marshall Islands. But each of the day have their own VIP dignitary speakers, including the speakers from the Marshall Islands, their head of states. So it's very, very packed, full week, and it's going to be wonderful. I want everyone to go on the Facebook and YouTube and watch us live, because it'll be live. Yeah.
And then we have door prizes. Door prizes.
And there are door prizes.
Get on our
people to
Facebook
win.
site and register.
Yep, and our finale door prize is Alaska Airlines round trip ticket. Anywhere that Alaska flies, and they have 1 year to fly.
Well, you know, if I win that trip where I'm going, the Marshall Islands, and David, I expect you to meet me when I get off the plane, okay?
You'll get a special treat. Whoever comes to the Marshall Islands, I guarantee a special treat from the Marshallese community out there.
I love that. I love that. So all that you have done to reinvent yourself during this pandemic and to make this program be, I don't think it was possible, even more spectacular than what it is in person. Belinda, who do we need to thank in terms of sponsors for all of this? And first off, let me just say thank you to all of you and your team. But who else made this possible?
And Ms. Lua has the whole list of sponsors. So I will defer to Ms. Lua to tell you the wonderful sponsors.
Thank you, Amanda, for remembering the sponsors. So we are sponsored by so many of our great friends from different companies and foundations. And so Multicare, STE Michelle Winery, Columbia Bank, Tacoma Arts Commission, Catholic Community Services, Washington Arts Commission, Alaska Airlines, Molina Healthcare, Muckleshoot Indian Tribes, the Greater Tacoma Community Foundation, Refugee Immigrant Services Northwest, U.S. Bank, Tacoma Urban League, Asian Counseling Referral Services, Radio Korea Hankook, Tacoma Community College, Pierce College, and Washington State Marshallese Community.
Boy, let me tell you something. That's a lot of love, Angie.
Yes, a lot of love. And thank you, sponsors. Thank you so much. Always.
I want to say thank you to all three of you and all of the people that we could not fit on this phone call today, for bringing us such a beautiful culture When we cannot get out and touch these cultures, you have brought them to us. And so, as a close, David, I would love to have you welcome people to this event in your Marshall Islands language.
Yahweh karwainin an olive rom rane kobado gilo chonien ekamono egalimemo elugun aur ilo arne kobai penron ilo New Year celebration in 2021 presented in Asia Pacific Cultural Center ro ilo chujugun berinan rumajal yon Washington kumgano jen ruwainini.
Beautiful. Thank you, all three of you, so much for being here today.
Thank you, Amanda. Thank you.
We have much
Amol
more.
Dada, thank you.
Thank you, David. We have much more to come on Cityline, so don't go away. We'll be right back.